Spoilers ahead, fucknuts.
Well, hello there, you wayward sinner. Do you like blood, violence, and depravity of a sexual nature?
Oh, Daddy, Do you really expect me to memorize this whole script?
Of course you do. That's why you're in hell. What would you say if I told you there was a place to stay that had none of that? Welcome to the Hazbin Hotel. Your last desperate attempt at salvation starts here.
So, what do you think?
I'm sorry, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. What?
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to Two Pose in a Pod. We're back. It's been a couple weeks.
It's been quite a while. It's been a while.
Well, you were on vacation, so weren't you, Silas?
Indeed. Well,
In Mexico.
California.
Yeah.
Also, we already recorded a podcast after that.
We did?
Yes.
Which one? Monarch? Because that was...
Yeah, the Monarch one.
I thought you went on another vacation, though.
Yeah, but that was New Hampshire.
No, I know. But two separate... That was after the Monarch episode.
It's only been like a week.
Unless there was
maybe a week and a half.
Unless there was some weird time travel. Like
back to the Hollow Earth moment.
When you went to New Hampshire, was that... was one day, a couple weeks here?
Yeah.
But
anyway.
we are back. We are here to review season 1 of Hazbin Hotel that premiered on Amazon.
Indeed.
And yeah, it's done by the creator Vivian Madrazo, right?
Something like that. Yeah, I believe so.
I believe that's her name. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it.
Sorry if we're wrong.
But she is also the creator of show Helluva Boss. That is a musical and an adult animated comedy, very much like this show.
It's on YouTube. You guys, anyone can check it out. Basically,
and it might even be in this show's universe, possibly.
It is in the same universe, just whether they collide is a different story.
It's almost like a Quentin Tarantino thing, where there's little tiny connections, but they may not be like some sort of official like crossover with a character or anything.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get that unless some other crazy shit happens. Maybe they get so popular and then they branch out. Who knows?
I don't think they need to do it for a bit until down the line.
Oh no, they definitely won't until later, till much later, most likely.
I'd be down for it, when they just start running out of ideas.
If anything, you might just get Easter egg type stuff, like a newspaper stole this from Helluva Boss was shot. You're just going to see that in a newspaper and Hazbin Hotel, maybe one thing. Little Easter eggs like that.
But
if anything,
that's a great show. Definitely check that out on YouTube for free.
Yes,
and by the same creator, so you'll be able to tell if you don't have Amazon Prime, if you're kind of into a show that's kind of like this. But they have great musical numbers in that show and in this.
Yeah, not as many, but definitely some good bangers in various episodes.
And then this kind of has some Broadway musical and maybe some Disney musical elements.
Well, the people who did make this are a bunch of Broadway nerds.
Yeah.
Broadway nerds, theater nerds.
And not every song is amazing, I'll say, but none. I don't think there was a single bad one here, I thought, at least.
No, not really. Some I just didn't really care for, but
exactly.
they're still
they
done,
don't really stick
they're
out.
done well.
But at least they add to character development, which the musicals especially do a really good job in this show.
Oh yeah.
But besides the musical element, it's also got the adult animated comedy element in there too, like I said. And
a lot of adult humor.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
And I think the thing people are appreciating about the adult animation recently is just being able to tackle more mature themes. Because I think adult animation's been around for a while, but we've only really seen violence or swearing.
Those violence and sex on TV, the good old-fashioned values that we used to rely. Oh, great, Family Guy.
Besides,
Family Guy.
I feel maybe those themes would get tackled in something like Family Guy, but they're not really taken very seriously or something. So it's interesting to get some very, very dark elements in this Hazbin Hotel show that we'll go into even more.
Yeah, without it just being a joke like Family Guy does.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually some seriously fucked up dark moments in
it. But that aspect kind of reminded me of the Harley Quinn show that came out recently, like how they have elements of that in there, even though that show's very goofy.
Yeah.
And then like that Amazing Digital Circus show you showed me, it's also on YouTube.
Yep,
that,
another
like,
good YouTube one for people
is
to check out.
kind of very lighter than this show, but also has like some existential dread kind of weird stuff in there too.
Well, remember they can't even swear in that
kids.
in that world because it just gets censored because
Yo.
in that world. Anyway, that's a different review. Maybe down in the future, maybe if they make more episodes, who knows?
But if you like this, definitely check those things out. And if you haven't seen this show yet, but you've seen some of those things, then we think this is definitely in that range for you. But it's basically about this girl Charlie,
The son or the daughter of Satan,
Yup.
of Lucifer. Technically, I think Satan's another character that they just don't show yet in this universe. Anyway,
and she opens up like a rehabilitation hotel to basically try and offer like a non-violent alternative for reducing like this overpopulation problem that
in hell, yep.
hell is basically having, which is kind of a really interesting premise actually. I would say, I think with the plot, when it comes to the plot in this show, they do an okay job with it. I think what makes it work ultimately is the character development and the world building here, because I think the plot can be a little weak sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean like
maybe
they
a
got some weaker
conventional-
episodes in this.
Yeah.
but then they can make it up in another episode or something where they actually like I was talking about. I think like the first funny enough, like the first episode is like the weakest one, and it actually just kind of gets better as it goes. Certain depending on your taste too, but yeah, it does get good as it keeps going. So it's like one of those shows that like if you don't like the first episode, maybe watch the second and third.
Oh yeah, no.
See if you actually do like it. If you're not really invested, then probably won't be for you though.
That was definitely the case with me. Like I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes of this show, and I didn't hate it, but I wasn't liking it as much as Helluva Boss.
Oh,
and then it really wasn't until the 4th episode that they kind of really start to get into more character development.
Oh yeah, we agreed. Like episode 4 is like that's a really dark, fucked up episode. That's the Angel Dust, like is specifically centered around Angel Dust's fucked up problems that he's going through, and it was some dark themes of like fucking abuse, sexual abuse, fucking, and you can probably even say rape in a lot of those these cases. His abuse.
It was some dark stuff.
Just all the abuse he suffers in his job, and the fact that he sold his soul to an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah. But
irredeemable piece of shit.
Because I started off watching it and I wasn't really like a fan of really any of the characters. I think the only one I really liked was Keith David's character.
Oh, Husker.
Yeah. And then the other character I liked was Serpentious.
Ah, yes, Serpentious. I mean, like I actually didn't really care for him in the earlier, or like when he was first introduced in these. And what was it? I think he was introduced in the 2nd episode. Was it more, or was it like
I
where?
think so, yeah.
And then they find out he's like a spy or something, and once he joins on, he gets better. I think.
Yeah, he was in the 2nd episode. He wasn't in the 1st.
Yeah, but after he definitely gets better after, like as it goes on. You're like he's he is a fucking pathetic loser at times, but it's like in a funny way. You know, like,
I kind of like that about him though. Like I was telling you, I think it reminded me of like the Monarch from Venture Brothers.
yeah, it's like the Monarch, but like even he's got way more, or he's got a lot less charisma than the Monarch at times, but he's like still got that. Yeah, I can see the theme of it. He definitely has like those very monarchy vibes. I think it's also the way he talks. It's like somehow kind of elegant at the same time as just. Even though he's like a fucking snake doing his every S's.
Yeah, it's just like, it's kind of, you get that he's taking it too seriously vibe from him too, and it's just like, you're so ridiculous. Like,
yeah, he's very extra in ways, like fucking the way he presents himself as like, I am Serpentious. He's just fucking just over the top, and I kind of dig it at times.
But yeah, maybe I just like those extra kind of characters at points.
Fucking meeting
when they
Lucifer.
can really,
Your Majesty.
Yeah. And they do some really funny bits with that character too. I almost wish he got a little bit more screen time or development. But I'm glad like in the end, it seems like he's gonna get more development or like a new kind of story in the second season too. So.
Spoilers ahead too for freaking future.
Yeah, spoilers ahead, and we said it at the beginning.
You gotta make sure sometimes, man. Anyway.
Silas, remember you have that message at the start of every one, and you go spoilers ahead, fuck nuts.
Yes, classics. Classic Silas. Anyway,
that may be subject to change.
We'll see. Anyway, but yeah, so shit. What were we talking about? Serpentious. Yes. Yeah. His hopefully we'll see more of him, especially now him being in heaven.
Hopefully it wasn't like a Thor Ragnarok thing where like they're just like, I don't know, maybe they'll do more of that too, but like how they kind of had that post credits where Jane was in heaven or whatever, and it's just like, was just supposed to be kind of like a nice thing, or like,
you never see him in heaven. You'll like only see him in glimpses in the background every so often. Whenever they just clip the heaven, it's just him in the background, not even interacting with anyone. Like, hey, just
the one thing I'll hate about post credits
derpy.
with things sometimes, or how they set things up at points. It's like, don't set something up if you're never gonna follow it up, you know?
Yeah. Especially since like the whole point of this is literally Charlie trying to figure out, oh, can people be redeemed?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't even know. They don't even know he's in heaven. They think he's just dead.
That Serpentious, like what, the first like human or person from hell to go to heaven, basically.
He's the first redeemed.
Yeah.
Granted, that's not true either, because remember we see Lilith at the end, even though she was in hell, but then she's in heaven at the end. Yeah.
Huh. So there was some sort of exception there.
Something maybe happened. We don't know. Brings up more mysteries because
Interesting.
these are mysteries I do. I am a little interested. I'm like, how did that work? How did that happen?
And it seems like the whole dynamic we get, which is also another thing I liked about this, was they had a different take on Lucifer with this.
Being basically very awkward,
just like
depressed,
the awkward,
fucking
depressed
dad
that like is divorced or something, and
he just kind of wants his daughter's love, even though
it was interesting.
Which makes me really question where the daddy issues come from. If he's actually
like
just
not really a piece of shit.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll talk about that maybe later.
Anyway, they just have to make everyone in these adult animated things
everyone in this show has daddy issues, as you keep
issues
seeing.
Or mommy issues or something. Archer has mommy issues.
Oh my god, dude! Everyone just has daddy issues in this show. Fucking A. But anyway,
at least they don't have robot issues.
That's another time.
We also saw Robot Dreams today, but
that's another
talking our Oscars episode.
Yes, that's a later future down the road episode. Anyway, God damn it, robots. Anyway, back to this. So
Serpentious, and we were talking about some of the characters here.
Oh yeah, who else to talk about? We need to stop gushing over fucking Serpentious. Who else?
Well, there was the girlfriend of Charlie, Vaggie.
You mean Vagisaurus, according to Adam?
Yeah, like everyone just kept calling her that. She's like, that's not my fucking name.
Just calling her random names. Vagatha, not my name.
But she was one of the characters I think, along with Serpentious, and a lot of the characters in this, including Charlie and Angel Dust, that like improve as the show goes on.
Yeah,
really all of them, even Husk too. Even though he's awesome from the beginning, like you learn more about their characters. And it definitely makes you more interested in them, I would say. Like,
especially, like, Husker actually is, I do like the interest of how he's, like, the good friend for Angel Dust, as you find out who's trying to seek redemption. Husker doesn't give a fuck about redemption. He's just basically being a good friend support at times, but after episode 4. Never would have thought Husker and Angel Dust would be friends.
Right. Well, it seems like maybe they're even going in a, like, romantic direction with them, too.
I don't think it's romantic. I think it's just good friends type of thing.
Maybe.
Personally, I kind of prefer that dynamic because
just after robot,
there's already so many
robot dreams. I just think everything was the fuck now.
Everything. You got a dirty mind, sir.
But what did that movie teach us? What was the lesson, if not?
If you're lonely by a sex robot, yes, yes. Anyway,
can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
But But yeah, some of the other characters here was Nifty, who's like this
The little gremlin.
the little gremlin.
Oh my god,
thing.
dude, I love Nifty's. She's just such a little gremlin. It's
I like
fucking
that
funny.
character.
Chaotic
but,
energy.
Like, it really isn't much. They're pretty one note, I guess, in a way.
I like how everyone's kind of freaked out by her too. No matter like.
But yeah, I like how they have that element to her too. Like everyone's just like, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah, like the only one who really likes her is like Alistair too, who's also pretty fucked up. Great character too, Alistair. She's interesting character.
I knew not to trust that character from the start.
No shit.
And it seems like in the end,
You
like,
can't
we're
trust
pretty
a
much
voodoo
revealed
guy.
He's pulling this
Voodoo radio
trying
host?
to pull the strings like Lex Luthor or something.
Dude, but he's a good character. I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm saying he's got good character.
Do you think they're gonna go the route with it, like he's wanting to pull the strings, but he's like actually gonna get attached to them or something?
Maybe. I mean, like as we find out in the thing, according to Husker, like he's also sold his soul to another person. So I think this whole thing is him trying to unchain himself from whoever he sold his soul to.
Yeah.
Because when you sell your soul, I think in this universe, you also get like a good chunk of your power taken away for whatever reason. So I don't know what caused him to sell his soul for power also at the same time. Like that's what Husker did. He's like, I was down on my luck. I kept fucking up from gambling, and I gambled my soul away to Alistair. And now Alistair's a piece of shit who treats me like shit too now, but treats me like his pet. But
Husker has the best song too in this entire show.
Keith David has fucking pipes for
Right?
for that song of like the loser song, and they
Like we were listening to it today, and I watched that episode a few weeks ago. But
it's a catchy ass song.
I think I actually liked it even better, like listening to it just without even watching it.
Yeah, it's just a song you can put on your iTunes or whatever, just on your phone. Just download the song. You're like, this fucking shit.
And I would say that's
slaps.
probably the only song I would even do that for. But like, not like I said, the other ones aren't bad, and I think it's for other people. They really are gonna like really love a lot of these songs, and it's gonna be even different for them. But,
Oh yeah, like I think Keith David's song as Husker, but that was probably my favorite song. But then I also like the two other ones. Funny enough, like the Alistair versus Vox song, I enjoyed too a lot.
that one was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like it was
There's
cool,
some
like
cool animation stuff in that one too.
especially showing like the rivalry like the TV versus radio
Yeah,
fucking fight, which is always cool.
Exactly, like that was just cool seeing that visually.
And then I actually, funny enough, also liked Adam's song in the first episode. Funny enough, the "Hell Is Forever" one.
Oh yeah,
That one actually sticks in your head too so every so often.
well, the song in the first episode was kind of funny too because it was kind of a whole take on like these Disney songs almost. Like
Oh yeah,
them
fucking
walking down
Charlie.
the, like,
It's a
through
good
the
day in
square
hell
or whatever.
Yeah.
Not, but like I said, liked them, but like I don't know if I would really download them or something. Besides,
I personally would
Keith
not
David's.
download Charlie's songs.
Yeah.
Personally, no offense to Charlie's character.
I think my only complaint with the
lamer
music
one.
is it's very
Sucks, dude.
well written and some of them are catchy. But it seems like sometimes like it's like really people trying to like belt over one another like or something.
I forgot the song "Poisoned" actually. It's fucked up. Remember the one Angel sings during the whole like basically singing about his abuse that he gets from Valentino. That whole fucked up montage. You're like, great song.
That one
Fucked
was
up
good.
imagery though.
That one
Holy
was good
shit.
too. Like I think I really liked some of these songs, but more for like them just like kind of being good character development actually,
yeah,
rather
you
than
get
being
the
like
good
some
characters.
super catchy song or like one you're gonna download. So maybe that's kind of the different thing about them, like where some people will really enjoy them. Well, maybe other people just feel like me, where they like them and they just think they service the story really well, even though they might not download it, you know, or like a lot of them at least. But there's a lot of sort of different musical styles they go for too. So like I think there's gonna be like a song that probably someone's gonna listen to and like no matter what.
Yeah.
In this show, so that's really cool too. But yeah. I guess I also want to bring up the whole critical reception to this show currently, because it's basically sitting at around an average of 7.7 right now.
That's above average.
And
at
that's
least.
from a Metacritic average of 7.8 out of 10 for the season 1. Oh, and the pilot included in that too.
Oh, they include the pilot too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And for people who don't know, the pilot is actually was released on YouTube first.
4 years before this
Yeah.
thing started, which I saw like 4 years ago. I really like, and that's what got it. Remember I saw that 4 years ago, and then I found out about Helluva Boss, and then I showed you Helluva Boss, and then from there it just basically as it goes. Anyway,
And then it wasn't until more recently that you actually finally watched that pilot for Hazbin Hotel, like maybe like 6 months ago or something, right?
what you?
Yeah, then you show it to me finally.
Yeah, I
like,
showed
"Oh,
you.
let's
I think
watch the
I think I
pilot or
showed you
whatever."
like
You haven't
months
seen
ago.
this yet?
About to say, even though I saw it like 4 years ago when it first
Yeah.
came out.
But yeah, definitely definitely watch this pilot on YouTube first, and then watch if you don't like that, you probably won't like the show.
Yeah, I still say that the pilot is one of the best episodes. Actually, funny enough.
Yeah,
It's-
it's a pretty strong
It's
first
for
episode.
some reason the best animated too out of everything.
I thought it was
no
stronger.
No offense to the rest of it.
I thought it was stronger than the first episode of this actual show.
Yeah, well, I think that's
Which I
also,
actually thought was probably maybe the weakest episode of like
yeah,
the
and
season.
that's what I
And
said
that's
too
what,
earlier.
That's what critically people are saying on IMDb too. It's the lowest rated episode is the first,
I think
not
everyone.
the pilot, but the first one of the Amazon
I think like that's a
series.
very universal thing because I saw a bunch of other reviewers saying similar things too. And
It's not bad. It's at a 7.5, but a
It's
lot
not
of the
bad
other episodes are a
episodes, it's
lot
just-
higher.
Yeah, the other ones kind of get a little bit more into it. Which
All
are
the
a
other
bit
ones
better.
are like an 8 or higher, and some of them even have 9s. Episode 4 has a 9, and the finale has a 9.1.
Oh, nice.
I'd say episode 4 is definitely my favorite.
Definitely the better.
Here.
And like I said, one thing I think they should have done instead of like since every episode's 25 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
I still think they should have made it like a bit longer each episode.
Kind of like we said with What If, like
Yeah.
where it's like you could have benefited like more with the
Bit
character
of a longer
development and stuff
runtime
like that. And
each episode.
some of these it was fine, but with other characters, I think it could have fleshed out a little more.
Oh yeah, like it's since episode 4 I think is really good.
Like
it's
Serpentis.
because it focuses purely on like angel dust basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if Charlie,
Angel
but
Dust
it's
got
I mean
the
like
most attention,
Charlie's
probably.
just in it as to support or she's still involved in only Angel Dust's story. It's all about him basically, and it fleshes out his character a lot.
Yup.
And I think that's what's best. I think if they did that with like some of these other episodes too, and just slower toned or like a bit slower, longer like episodes, or just to build up the characters more, I think it would have been a lot better. Certainly,
No, I can see that.
also, some episodes have like song after song really quickly, right after another, which sometimes feels weird
Mm-hmm.
at times.
I would agree.
So like it would also allow them to split, like put a little bit more space between songs, which could probably help them a bit more.
Yeah, where it just because sometimes like I think with some episodes it was like just almost like a song right after another song, basically. Like
Yeah,
and maybe they were trying to make it like a medley-ish almost, but like
I think that like they were trying to shove like 3 songs in each episode, basically. But sometimes it's just 2. But you know what I mean? They're just trying
but
to shove as
sometimes
many
I
in
think
there.
we can both like agree it almost felt like they're trying to hit that requirement of like there needs to be 2 or 3 songs an episode.
If
or
you want to
whatever.
be a
Basically
musical,
3.
you gotta have at least 2 to
Yeah,
3
I think there's 3
songs in each
of
episode.
these episodes, basically. So, yeah, definitely. If you're not in the musicals, don't check this out.
Yeah, I kind of recommended this to my cousin. I think and he does not like musicals. He's like, no.
But what
No.
do you think we sit at? Like, we don't give ratings, but do you think we're kind of above the average rating or below? Where are you sitting?
I think it depends on, like
I think I'm kind of a little below that, but
I think it's about right. Or-
I'm like at a 7.5-ish though.
yeah, that sounds about right. Like
Yeah.
around the 7.5, 7. Like I said, it depends on the episodes half the time too, because some are iffy. Like
Yeah.
I'll get into more in the gripes later in this thing, some like little issues, especially since I'm like I used to read also they have a comic series they used to have.
I'd say we're just
On the
slightly
thing.
below like like kind of the average, unfortunately. But I think we're still roughly in that range.
Yeah, so it's definitely better than some other fucking shows that popped up.
Mm-hmm.
Monarch.
I didn't like it. Oh my god, we don't talk about Monarch.
How the fuck that has such a high rating for fucking what it is beyond me. Monarch, I think what was it like 7 point something or something like that. We averaged it last thing, which was ridiculous to me. Anyway,
It's so stupid, especially after I saw Godzilla -1 in black and white again.
You
recently.
bring shame.
I was just like, I was just like, why? This is so much better. Ugh, people disgust me now.
you people have shit taste. Fucking shame on you. Shame.
I mean, for well, and this will be it about that. But for anyone that gets enjoyment out of it, that's fine. But it's just like you gotta kind of admit it's not that great. Like if you like the just dumb kind of popcorny elements about it or whatever, that's fine. But
Are we still talking about Monarch or?
yeah.
Like,
no, that's what I was saying. That's my final point.
yeah. We gotta stop going towards other things in this review. You gotta stay on track.
But yeah, definitely not as bad as Monarch. Which I wouldn't even say it's similar to at all.
Dude, it's just like Rebel Moon.
It's just because Monarch wasn't a musical and it was sci-fi and
Dude,
Godzilla and King Kong fucking barely, but
dude, I would love. You know what? That would have made it better. Fucking musical of Godzilla and King Kong just singing along. I would have definitely preferred that more.
But yeah, if any of that sort of stuff sounds interesting to you, Pose, I think that about wraps it up. But check out Helluva Boss.
Wait, hold on. Are we?
Or,
we got still we got. Didn't we have some criticizing of it? Can't end it now.
Or do you have a criticism?
Yes.
What
we
criticisms
went over it.
do you have?
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll go over some of the things. Like I did not actually care for the ending as much.
Yeah.
I mean, like I liked seeing Sir Pentious in heaven. That was cool, and finding out Lil. I don't know. I think that I didn't like the fact that they seem to have, at least to my knowledge right now, killed off Adam right away. I actually liked Adam as a villain.
I was just glad they didn't kill off Sir Pentious, but
I know you fucking goddamn simping for Sir Pentious over there. But I liked Adam as a good villain. I thought he was an interesting villain so far to me, personally. I kind of liked him. I mean, like,
I thought he was kind of one note, but
I mean,
he had funny moments.
Yes. Personally, I think it would have been better. I think would have been more poetic, too, in a way, if instead, like, Adam and Lute were actually not, like, or Lute's not dead, but those two, since they hated, like, demons and stuff, I think it would have been cooler or better story if instead, they were defeated, but then became fallen. They basically became demons themselves at the end of the thing, you know, or they were fallen away from heaven, or heaven kicked them out or whatever. Like, after the fight, lose their wings maybe, just like Vaggie did, or blah, blah. Or they did if that happened, and it's basically them stuck in hell, and then eventually, like, you know, trying to get by, finding out this sucks, what's like to be a demon down there, and stuff like that, even though and then eventually, maybe, I would think would be a good idea, would be them going to the hotel and trying to actually redeem themselves so they can get back into heaven. And basically finding it, like, actually, because the whole fucking point of the show is a story about redemption. And I think that would have been a really cool, like, thing to throw in, like them trying to get past their demon bigot, like, discriminate, like how they see sinners.
Well, maybe that'll be where they go with it in the future, because there's that daughter character.
Because it, like, kind of makes, like,
the
if you
daughter angel.
Yeah.
She seeed like she was.
Oh, that was the younger sister, Emily, I think her name is.
Oh, it's the younger sister.
Yeah, sister. But I think that that would have been a cooler thing to go with the story, and you could see, like, fucking Adam's redemption type thing, because, like they say, they don't even know how they get into heaven in the thing. So it would have been. I think that would have been a cool story plot, and how, and this time Adam actually gets to heaven legitimately, rather than just being shoved up there, like what it felt like they feel like that happened. And
I don't know. I think they kind of ran the course with that character. Like, I think maybe, like, he could get a little annoying if they, like, it just kind of pushed it, like.
Well, that's
more,
the thing.
but...
He would, through the redemption, he'd be less of annoying character. I mean, like, he's a bit misogynist, yeah, but he's kind of an asshole.
Dude,
but
he's a total asshole. He was a fucking complete.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you
gonna
say people in hell are the good guys suddenly?
No, but
fuck you. They just if
maybe
they get
I'm like Charlie.
Just because he's pissed, he pisses off Charlie at the time. Yeah. Maybe, like, how misogynist can he be if he has his second in command as a woman, man? Or plus, I also did like the idea, like, because first of all, Adam being an asshole and kind of a misogynist makes sense through the story that they set up in this world. Where
well, I just didn't even get how he like I do, but I didn't even get how he's like still even allowed in heaven. Like,
well, that's one of the big conflicts. That's the whole point of people not knowing how people get into heaven. Like not even the angels know how it works. Like
that was an interesting aspect of it.
From the hints, like especially since the old comics had some different story plot lines. I don't know if they're going to include them, but one of the things was basically the idea that a lot of those executioners, or what are they called, the exorcists, angels, like going around killing the demons. Like I think I said briefly about it, like how those were originally people on Earth that were basically fucked over by sinners or bad people when they were alive, and they used that thing basically to get their vengeance on people who fucked them over. And as I said, kind of makes sense for fucking Adam. He got fucked over a lot, especially like, not saying he's the best. He was probably not the best person, but I'm like, because let's set this up like this: you are the first human.
Yep.
Basically, God puts you in charge. He's like, you will be the leader of all humanity. Blah blah. But then that kind of gets fucked over by some dude who had his own ideas. Like in the comics, it's a different slightly story too. But anyway, I'm just going, unless they still have that, and this is just the lore they give you in the beginning is just an altered version, through rose-tinted glasses version of it. But anyway,
I do understand your logic a little bit, mainly because it's just kind of like. But I mean, the whole point of the show, we're supposed to redeem people, so like.
And that's why I think it would have been a good idea. I'm like, think about it. Adam got fucked over if you've read the Bible, that actually is what happens. He kind of gets fucked.
I think they want like action elements in there, like especially this creator with how much like violence and like killing and stuff there is in Helluva Boss too. But then that kind of goes against the message of like, oh, we're so like, or at least with Charlie, I know the other characters are fucked up and they're kind of like trying to figure out how not to be fucked up, and like it's kind of a joke that when they kill or something, like it's like, oh, we're still trying to like be better or whatever, but like. Yeah, it seemed a little bit of a choice, I guess, in the end, to just have the maid just stab the shit out of her.
Yeah,
or him or whatever.
I'm like, if they were going to kill off Adam, I also think, if anything, I guess Lucifer would kill him. Like, they should just
they could have
at
done
least
it
kept
in a better way, I guess.
Than just getting stabbed in the back by the maid.
Maybe.
But
maybe he's not going to be dead or something.
I was about to say, maybe maybe they will go with my idea. I don't know. Maybe because Adam did not really look like other than the angel wings, he didn't exactly look like the other angels, since all the other angels in heaven all had like fucking, almost like, you remember how demons or people in hell have their own demon personas? People in heaven had their own heaven personas, and Adam just looked like a human. Maybe he was not even technically dead. I'm not too sure, because he looked fucking human after they broke his mask.
Or even, I don't know. I could see them doing a bunch of different shit.
I mean, I think it would be actually better.
I don't even really know how heaven or death works in heaven or hell when you're already dead. So.
Yeah, no, I was because Serpentius technically died and went to heaven. Hey, technically Adam sent Serpentius to heaven. You have to kill him.
So maybe he'll just go back.
Yeah.
So maybe your character will come back.
I like him as a good. He's an I think they could make a lot more depth to him. Is all I'm saying. I think he was a wasted potential when you get the literal first man in fucking history being just dying like that out of nowhere. Like I said, I would prefer if he was just damned to hell and then he tries his redemption arc, which I think was good, be better because I don't know. I like that idea.
Yeah, I think the only criticisms I really had were the ones I kind of said, where. I think this was definitely not like a great story. I think it is definitely done well enough because of the character development and the musicals being pretty strong and that sort of stuff, which is most of the episode, Yeah. So, but to me, I just thought like, especially towards the beginning, I think like it seems like it's really padding itself out like longer than it needs to be, where it's kind of like. Where's the story going? Almost like
like I said, I think they could have benefited from slowing down the pace a little bit. Like, I think them going to heaven, getting kicked out.
I think it needed to be
final
faster in the
episode
beginning
of the
and
first season.
slower towards the end, maybe.
I don't know. But
because in that, like I said, like towards the beginning, it just felt like they were just in the hotel, like kind of just doing.
yeah,
nothing
I
almost.
that's why I was thinking. I'm like, the first season I would probably think would have been better off just fleshing out more of the characters, and then the second season you get into the whole angel heaven dilemma.
They could have
Because they already got verified for a second season, so.
Yeah. No, they could have, if they wanted to focus on the character development, just especially, maybe they could have just kind of done what they were trying to do at the beginning, but really focused on that and like separated it, like you said.
I also did not care for the idea that they did not realize angel weapons can hurt angels, because that was, if you've watched Helluva Boss, it's kind of a fucking common theme.
She literally lost her eye, like, or got hurt.
Yeah,
with
she
one,
literally got
too.
her fucking eye torn out by a fucking angel weapon. Why wouldn't you think angel weapons can hurt you?
Oh, they can hurt us?
And then there's Helluva Boss, where everyone fucking knows angelic weapons fucking can kill, like, demon princes and royalty and stuff, which also are technically angel, or have angels in blood in them and stuff like that. So fucking, why wouldn't it also be able to hurt? I don't know. It's stupid. It's kind of fucking.
There's just some like plot holes here, like we said.
Yeah, I personally, they could have done a bit different route to make that a little bit better.
Nothing that's gonna like really affect it for people too much, though. I don't think.
I think the better idea or solution would have been them trying to convince Carmilla just to get him the weapons, rather than finding out what kills angels from Carmilla and the weapons. She also kind of just gives it to her fucking nonchalantly. Just not much of a struggle other than the training arc for Vaggie.
But besides that, I don't really have many complaints. Yeah, I thought it ended pretty strongly.
Yeah, it's a fine story. Like I said, I just think the ways they did in the comics, or the earlier ideas of it, kind of came off as a little bit better to me, personally. But this could go wet. It can get, maybe it's a little bit better for me in the second season. Maybe they'll flesh out more of this world in the second season. I don't know. Maybe it was just like one of those rush things, or they're trying to get it done just so they can get the green light for another season or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And if you're a fan of Helluva Boss and you're kind of like so on this at first, like maybe just stick with it, because I'd say it definitely gets stronger towards the end.
Oh yeah, it does get better as it goes.
Like the last half of episode's definitely better than the like first half.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's like episode 4, like we said, where it starts to hit its stride.
Yeah. Oh yeah, agreed. What was episode 3 too, real quick? I thought 3 was a decent one too, if I remember right. Learning trust.
That's when they had the like, that was a better one actually too. So yeah, around 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But I'd say like
That's fair.
to me, the very first pilot on YouTube and then like the first 2 episodes were a little slow.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But
yeah, it was still an overall good show.
overall good show. Check it out if you like adult animated comedy musicals.
Yeah.
But I think that about wraps it up, Pose. For this episode of Spoiled It. But thank you all for joining us and supporting all things Bros and Pose here at 2 Pose in a Pod. Till next time, stay pose.
Stay pods.
Stay pose.
Pose.